Well, I thought I'd pop back on here, come out of hiding for a little bit in the middle of writing End the Simpademic, the book. Anyways, this is Jason with End the Simpademic, the channel. And I had some thoughts while in the middle of writing my chapter about the black pill channels on social media. And I've said it before, and I've said that, women make it too easy for these channels to AI harvest material to rage bait men and to cause them to go MGTOW. Now then, I can actually go a step beyond that at this point. And I will also state that I don't believe most women who film these videos believe what they're saying. In fact, a lot of them are staged. I believe, if they're in the interview on the street format, I believe those are staged and very much scripted. And so these women who are making these outrageous statements about wanting a man who's 6 foot tall, 6'2", makes at least $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 a year or whatever it is, and has 6-pack or 12-pack abs, I thoroughly believe that that is all for show, because rage bait, or actually just even extreme statements or outrageous statements in general, that's what I was looking for, outrageous. Outrageous in general goes viral faster than anything else. I mean, these people are trying to be the next Sydney Sweeney, who, by the way, went viral with a clip of her at the shooting range, which I thought was fantastic, personally. But at the same time, nobody's gonna, these women are out there trying to achieve that type of level of fame on social media by saying the most outrageous things possible, even if they don't believe it. And I think most of them don't. If I'm being fair, I don't think most of them are looking for a 6 foot tall guy, looking for somebody who's making $500,000 a year. I don't think they believe it. And I think deep down they know that that person is extraordinarily rare and doesn't really exist. My old childhood friend in Texas, she wanted that for herself, but the difference with her is she's not, somebody who's unemployed, at the time that she was looking for a man of that particular stature, she herself was making $250,000 a year, and this is in the late 90s, mind you, so that back then that'd be like somebody who's making closer to $400,000 today. But she's also an extraordinarily private person. And so to see her making a video on, if I saw her making a video on social media about that qualification, my jaw would probably hit the floor. Because, she wanted that type of a man, but at the same time is also extraordinarily private. So, I mean, she's not on social media at all, by the way. Except for a private Facebook profile. And I mean, when I say private, I mean you can type her name in and you will not find her. 2 women in my past are that way, and they're that way for very good reasons. Both in both cases because of rather public profiles that both of them have had or presently have these days. So to go back to my point here, I digress, but women really do not believe what they're posting on social media for outrageous statements. They don't care about the impact that it has. They don't care that they wind up on Manosphere channels. They don't care that they wind up, turning men into black pill, rage baited, and, to be honest, depressed men. They don't care. They're just looking for the quick buck from viral fame. And if they have to say something extremely outrageous to get it, then that's what they're going to do. So take everything that you see on social media with a real grain of salt, especially in terms of the dating situations, with the black pill and the MGTOW and everything else going on. Even a channel that even a content creator who I thought I liked quite a bit, I actually take a lot of her statements a lot more with a lot more of a magnifying glass these days. And another one who I actually still personally like, she dropped out of the game for a while, for quite some time, and of course that's Billy Ray Brandt. And she stopped for a while because she didn't like what her life was becoming, and I can understand why. She wanted to not spend her time 24/7 looking at her phone to see what outrageous thing was going to come up next. She wanted to focus on her own relationship, and lo and behold, she's engaged now. So Billy Ray, if you're somehow watching this, I congratulate you from the bottom of my heart. I cheer for all relationships to succeed, even if they're not of the type, again, I'm a very devoted evangelical Christian. Even if they're not the type that I would go for myself or have the particular values that I do, I still root for them to succeed, and here's why. Because this country, with this black pill mentality that we got going on these days, these poisonous attitudes, these gender wars, we need as many of these positive examples as we can get as a country. Otherwise, we're gonna go extinct, guys. Our birth rate is already below replacement rate in 47 of the 50 states, and the country as a whole. We are not generating enough population right now, or birth rate, to naturally offset our death rate. We need as much of this as possible, and that's why all of this, black pill channels, faceless creators, stage interviews on the streets, women making outrageous claims and statements of their standards on social media, all to get a buck, maybe get as famous as Sydney Sweeney, who has actually gained fame on social media for all the right reasons, like being able to shoot a pistol and being able to score high at a gun range. So anyhow, that's my statement around this. I mean, depending on what you think about the gun control issue, you may not like what she does, but it's more legitimate than getting viral fame for making outrageous statements in so-called stage street interviews and having your content picked up by black pill Manosphere channels who have honestly declared war on women, and they're faceless so that they can't be held accountable. So anyhow, that's me coming out of the Foxhole for a little while, back to my book, and that, I believe, will be chapter 5. I'm gonna have a proofreader look at this. I do have a self-publishing service lined up to get this done, but they will be proofreading it for flow and things like that. So chapter 5 may get moved. I mean, that's standard for this process. So anyhow, that's it. I am back to my usual scheduled programming, which for now on this channel isn't any. But I thought I would just jump in there while I was coming up with these thoughts while writing this book. So I don't have a timeline for when the Simpademic will be published. I do know that I'm mentioning this on a lot of channels right now, this book, and I think a lot of people believe that this is a book that needs to be written and needs to be read. Because I want men to regain their dignity, and I want them to stop putting women on pedestals and simping for them. I really think that this is a big problem too, in addition to all the black pill crap. So anyhow, that's it for now. You folks have a wonderful rest of the week here. Tomorrow is Thursday, yay. And I will see you somewhere down the road, hopefully after the book is out. So peace out, homies.